Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are tackling a massive question, one that's probably on your mind a lot. How do you actually build real wealth in 2026? We're going to break down 7 passive income ideas that genuinely work, cutting through all the hype to see what sources like JP Morgan and Stansberry Research are telling us about the smartest ways to earn.
Okay, so here's how we're going to do this. First, we'll set the stage and talk about why this is so critical right now. Then, we're going to explore 3 totally different paths you can take: investing your money, creating digital assets, and building a business. And those paths are going to give us our 7 big ideas. Then, to wrap it all up, we'll have a super important reality check on what passive actually means.
So, let's start with the big why. Before we even get into the nuts and bolts of how to do this, let's talk about the fundamental question of financial security, because it feels more important than ever as we look toward 2026.
Think about it. With the economy doing, well, whatever it's doing day to day, that idea of relying on just one paycheck, it's starting to feel a little shaky, isn't it? The very idea of what it means to be financially stable is changing. It's less about one big salary and more about having multiple, resilient streams of income.
And boom. This quote right here, it just nails the point. It's from JP Morgan's 2026 Market Outlook, and it really frames this whole conversation perfectly. When things are fragile, building that financial resilience isn't just a nice to have, it's pretty much essential.
And that's exactly where this idea of passive income comes in. Okay, so this is the official, kind of dry IRS definition, but what does it really mean? The core idea, and this is the powerful part, is about breaking the link between your time and your money. It's about building things that earn for you even when you're not actively working on them.
All right, let's get into our first path. This one's the classic, the traditional route, and it's all about making the money you already have start working for you. So this first approach is probably the one you're most familiar with. If you've got some cash saved up, the whole game's about putting that money to work so it starts generating its own income. Let's look at a couple of really powerful ways to do that.
So under this umbrella of investing your money, we're going to look at 2 really popular ideas: dividend-paying stocks and something called real estate investment trusts, or REITs.
So, dividend stocks. This is our first idea, and the concept is actually super straightforward. When you own a share of a company, you're literally a part owner. So when they make a profit, they share a little piece of that profit straight with you, usually in a check every 3 months. It's a direct reward for being an investor. And get this, some of these companies are just amazingly consistent. Take a company like Becton, Dickinson & Co. They've raised their dividend payout for 54 years straight. Now, obviously, no single stock is a sure thing, which is why a diverse portfolio is so important. But man, that kind of track record is exactly what you're looking for.
Okay, idea number 2, REITs. You might not have heard of these, but think of it this way. It's like being able to invest in a huge collection of properties. We're talking apartment buildings, warehouses, hospitals, but you don't have to deal with any of the headaches of being a landlord.
And this is where you really see the magic. Let's say you compare a REIT to buying a rental property. With the rental, you need a massive down payment, right? And you're the one who gets that frantic 2 a.m. call about a burst pipe. With a REIT, you get all the exposure to the real estate market, but you can buy and sell shares just like a stock, and you're instantly diversified across tons of different properties. And check this out. Here's why this is a really big deal right now. Research from Stansberry is showing that REITs are basically on sale compared to the rest of the stock market. We're talking the biggest discount in over 20 years. That could signal a serious opportunity for investors. All right, let's switch gears. We're moving on to our second path. Now, this one isn't so much about investing money you already have, it's about investing something else: your time, your skills, and your expertise. And the idea here is so simple, but wow, is it powerful. It's this: you create something valuable one time, just once, and then you can sell it again and again and again to anyone in the world. No inventory, no shipping, just pure profit on each sale. So, idea number 3 is jumping into the world of ebooks. The great thing? It costs next to nothing to produce one. The flip side, though, is that it takes a lot of time to research and write something good. And if you're writing about a popular topic, well, you're going to have a lot of competition. Idea number 4, online courses. Now, these are great because you can charge a lot more for a course than an ebook. The value is just way higher. But, you guessed it, the upfront work is also way bigger. It's a huge commitment of your time and knowledge, and you'll probably need to be around to support your students and keep things updated. Okay, on to our third and final path. This one is for all you builders, you entrepreneurs, the systems thinkers out there. This is all about creating a business that eventually can run without you.
And a really cool way to do this is with something called a Micro-SaaS. Now, don't let the name scare you. This is not about trying to build the next Microsoft. It's the opposite. It's about finding one tiny, annoying problem for a very specific group of people and solving it perfectly with a simple piece of software.
And I love this quote because it just hits the nail on the head. The real money isn't always in the sexy new industries. It's about finding a boring industry and building a simple tool that solves a problem they've been complaining about for the last 2 decades.
And this is where it all clicks into place, and where we find our last 3 income ideas. Look how specific you can get. So idea number 5. Forget a complicated CRM. Build a super simple one just for a solo freelancer who's overwhelmed by everything else. Idea 6. How about a booking system designed only for the weird scheduling needs of a podcast studio? And our 7th and final idea, a little AI tool that helps small marketing teams squeeze more life out of their content. You see, it's all about solving a small problem for a niche audience.
Okay, before we get too excited, we have to talk about something really important. It's the reality check on this whole passive income thing. Because honestly, that term gets thrown around a lot and it can be super misleading.
So let's just be super clear about this. Passive income is not magic, it is not free money, it is always a trade-off. You're either putting in a ton of work up front, like writing that ebook, or you're putting in your money, like buying those stocks. And one more thing you absolutely can't forget, taxes. The IRS definitely considers this income, and they will want their cut.
So at the end of the day, there's no magic bullet here. There's no single best path for everybody. It really comes down to you. What are your skills? What resources do you have? What are your goals? So the real question isn't which one is best. It's which one is the best for you. Which path you're going to start exploring first.